Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jerika Duncan. Israel is mobilized right now for war as the country prepares to launch a ground invasion into Hamas-controlled Gaza. Border clashes are intensifying. Aerial bombardments of the territory devastating. You can see there hundreds of thousands of Palestinians with nowhere to go. Tonight, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Jordan wrapping meetings with Arab leaders in 6 nations. He returns to Israel in just a few hours. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is in Tel Aviv tonight and leads us off. Charlie, good evening.
Good evening, Jerika. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened an emergency cabinet for the first time today, vowing to demolish Hamas, while the Israeli military said they're ready and waiting for the order to launch an invasion. Under bombardment and under siege, ahead of a looming ground offensive, Gaza is already edging ever closer to a humanitarian catastrophe. Authorities say more than 2,400 people have been killed, a quarter of them children, nearly 10,000 wounded. A situation so grim, they're using ice cream trucks as makeshift morgues. Hundreds of thousands of residents fleeing south as the Israeli military orders them to evacuate from the north. The World Health Organization called the forced evacuation of 22 hospitals tantamount to a death sentence for babies on incubators and those in intensive care. Israel announcing today it was resuming water supplies to southern Gaza after shutting down water to the entire territory earlier this week. Fighting has broken out in the north, too, with Israeli forces shelling southern Lebanon after the militant group Hezbollah fired rockets into Israel. Nearer to Gaza, Israeli armor has been massing. While we've been here, we've seen tons of heavy military equipment like this setting up in staging areas ahead of that anticipated Israeli offensive. Along what has now become a militarized zone lies the Kfar Aza kibbutz, the site of a massacre against Israeli civilians. The sheer destruction and bodies of Hamas gunmen tell the horrors that unfolded when the terrorist group descended on this small farming community. This, we're told, is the wreckage from a paraglider that one of the militants used to cross the border and launch their assault here. Colonel Golan Vash told us they found bodies everywhere. 66 residents found dead on this street alone. If people lock themselves inside safe rooms, militants set their houses on fire. In your entire career as a professional soldier, had you seen anything like this before?
No. This was cruel, and I saw the signals of the intention to humiliate.
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 That quiet farming community has now become a front line, Jerika. This ground invasion has not even begun yet, but Israeli Defense Forces say they've already lost nearly 280 soldiers.
Charlie D'Agata tonight in Tel Aviv. Thank you.